Did you know that there is a simple method that can organize your home, your routine, and your entire life using just 3 numbers, 8, 8, and 8? It seems impossible, but thousands of people have already completely transformed their lives with this technique. If you are tired of living in chaos, of not being able to find things when you need them, of always feeling behind and overwhelmed, then this video is exactly what you were looking for. I will show you how to apply the 8, 8, out 8 rule to create order in all aspects of your life. By the end of this video, you will discover why people who seemed completely disorganized managed to transform their homes into true sanctuaries of peace and productivity. And look, if you don't apply these techniques, you will continue to waste time looking for things, stressing about the mess, and wasting precious energy that could be used for much more important things in your life. Stay until the end because I will reveal the secret that made all the difference in my own home, and that can change yours too. Tip 1. Divide your day into 3 8-hour blocks. The first part of the rule is about time. Many people live without any structure in their day, and therefore feel like they never manage to do everything they need to do. The solution is simple. Divide your 24 hours into 3 blocks of 8 hours each. The first block is for sleeping, the second for working or taking care of your main responsibilities, and the third for taking care of yourself and your home. It seems obvious, but most people don't make this division clear and end up mixing everything up. When you don't have set schedules, your mind is always agitated because you don't know when you'll be able to rest or when you'll have time for household chores. Let me give you a practical example of how to apply this. If you wake up at 6:00 in the morning, your first block goes from 10 at night to 6:00 in the morning for sleeping. The second block goes from 6:00 to 2 in the afternoon for work or main activities. The third block goes from 2:00 to 10:00 at night for taking care of the house, your family, and yourself. Within this third block, you will fit in the tasks of organizing, cleaning, preparing meals, and leisure time. The direct benefit of this division is that your mind relaxes because you know exactly when everything is going to happen. You stop worrying about household chores during work hours because you know you have a specific time set aside for them, and you stop feeling guilty during your downtime because you know you've already fulfilled your responsibilities at the right time. Tip 2. Organize your home into 8 main zones. The second part of the rule is about the space in your home. Instead of trying to organize everything at once and feeling completely lost, divide your home into 8 main zones. This works for any size home, from a small apartment to a large house. The 8 zones are sleeping zone, cooking zone, eating zone, relaxing zone, work or study zone, washing and drying zone, personal hygiene zone, and entry and exit zone. Each zone has a specific function and should only contain items related to that function. The problem this tip solves is the general clutter that happens when things don't have a fixed place. When you have defined zones, every object in your home has a specific address. I'll show you how to apply this in practice. In the cooking zone, you keep only kitchen utensils, spices, and ingredients. In the relaxing zone, you keep only entertainment items like books, remote controls, and pillows. In the work zone, you keep only work or study materials. The key is to never mix items from different zones. If you find an item outside of its zone, immediately move it to its correct place. The direct benefit is that you always know where to find anything in your home. Plus, cleaning becomes much easier because each zone is independent, and you can organize one at a time without feeling overwhelmed. Tip 3. Use the 8 objects per surface rule. The third tip of the 8 rule is about controlling the number of objects on each surface of your home. Tables, countertops, dressers, shelves, all of these surfaces should have a maximum of 8 visible objects. This may seem like a small amount, but it is precisely this limit that creates the feeling of organization and visual cleanliness. The problem that this rule solves is the visual clutter that makes any space look messy, even when it is technically clean. When you have too many objects scattered around, your brain is constantly processing unnecessary visual information, which causes mental fatigue and a feeling of chaos. To apply this tip in practice, choose one surface at a time and count how many objects are visible on it. If you have more than 8, you need to store some in drawers, cabinets, or other storage places. For example, on the kitchen table, you can leave only the salt shaker, pepper shaker, a small vase with flowers, a fruit bowl, a napkin holder, a sugar bowl, a bottle of olive oil, and perhaps a spice rack. Everything else should have a specific place in the cabinets. On the coffee table in your living room, you can leave only the remote control, a book, a decorative candle, a coaster, a small tray, a small vase, a decorative box, and perhaps a remote control holder. The direct benefit of this rule is that your home immediately looks more elegant and relaxing. In addition, cleaning these surfaces is much faster because you have fewer objects to move when you wipe them down. Before continuing with the next tip, if you're enjoying these organization techniques, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any new tips. Leave a comment telling me where you're watching from. I love knowing where our viewers are. Now, let's move on to the next tip that will completely change your relationship with clothes. Tip 4. Keep only 8 outfits of clothes per season. The fourth tip is about organizing your closet using the power of the number 8. For each season, keep only 8 complete sets of clothes in your main closet. This includes your underwear, tops, and shoes that go with each outfit. This rule solves the problem of having a closet full of clothes, but always feeling like you have nothing to wear. When you have too many options, your brain gets overloaded when it comes to choosing, and you end up always reaching for the same items. Plus, an overstuffed closet makes it harder to organize, and you waste time looking for things. To apply this tip, start by separating all of your clothes by season. Take only the clothes from the current season and choose your 8 favorite and most versatile outfits. Each outfit should be complete, meaning you should be able to dress yourself completely with the pieces from that outfit. Store the other clothes from that season in another place, like a suitcase or a secondary closet. Clothes from other seasons should be completely out of your main closet. For example, if it's winter, your 8 outfits might include 2 more formal options for special occasions, 4 casual options for everyday wear, 1 set for exercising, and 1 more comfortable set for lounging around the house. The direct benefit is that you'll get dressed much faster each morning because you only have 8 options to choose from. Plus, you'll start to wear all of your clothes in rotation instead of always wearing the same pieces that are most visible in your closet. Tip 5. Dedicate 8 minutes a day to preventative organization. The 5th tip of the rule is about daily maintenance. Set aside exactly 8 minutes every day to do preventive tidying of your home. This should be done at the same time every day to create an automatic habit. It could be in the morning before you leave, in the afternoon when you get home from work, or at night before you go to bed. The important thing is to always do it at the same time. This tip solves the problem of accumulated clutter that happens when we leave everything to organize on the weekend. When you don't do daily maintenance, small organizational problems turn into big messes that take hours to solve. To put this into practice, program an alarm on your phone to go off every day at the chosen time. When the alarm goes off, stop what you're doing and dedicate exactly 8 minutes to tidying up small things around the house. This could be putting away objects that are out of place, folding some clothes that were left on the chair, organizing your shoes in the entryway, cleaning a dirty surface, or preparing something for the next day. The secret is not to try to do everything, but rather to choose a few small tasks that can be done in 8 minutes. For example, you could focus on the kitchen one day, the living room the next, and so on. The direct benefit is that your home will never be a complete mess again, because you're always making small adjustments. Plus, those 8 minutes a day will save you hours of heavy cleaning on the weekend, leaving you more free time to do the things you really enjoy. Tip 6. Apply the 8-second rule to disposal decisions. The sixth tip is about making quick decisions when deciding whether to keep or discard an item. When you pick up any item while organizing, you should decide within 8 seconds whether you are going to keep it, donate it, sell it, or throw it away. This rule works because our first impression of an item's usefulness is usually correct. When you take too long to decide, your mind starts creating emotional justifications for keeping things that you don't actually need. The problem this tip solves is the difficulty of getting rid of unnecessary items. Many people get stuck in organizing because they can't decide what to do with each item. They hold on to the same item for minutes, remembering when they bought it, imagining hypothetical situations where they could use it, and then end up putting it all away again. To apply this rule, get a stopwatch or use the timer on your phone. When organizing any drawer, closet, or room, pick up each item individually and start the timer. You have 8 seconds to decide whether that item is useful in your current life. If, in 8 seconds, you can't think of a specific current reason to keep the item, put it in the donation box. If you can think of a clear reason, put it in the appropriate place. For example, if you pick up a shirt you haven't worn in over a year, in 8 seconds, you can't think of a specific occasion when you would wear it again, donate it to someone who would get more use out of it. The direct benefit is that you'll quickly get rid of unnecessary items without getting caught up in emotional decisions. Your home will only have items that actually make sense in your current life, creating more space and less visual clutter. Tip 7. Organize your documents into 8 main categories. The 7th tip is to organize all of your documents into just 8 main categories. This works for both physical documents and digital files on your computer. The 8 categories are personal identification documents, property and asset documents, financial and banking documents, health and insurance documents, employment or retirement documents, education and course documents, service documents and contracts, and family and relationship documents. This organization solves the problem of losing important documents or taking a long time to find a specific piece of paper when you need it. When your documents are scattered around without any sort of order, you get nervous every time you need something official and may even miss important deadlines. To put this tip into practice, take all of your documents and start separating them into these 8 piles. In the identification category, put documents such as your ID card, passport, voter registration card, and birth certificates. In the property category, put deeds, rental agreements, car documents, and proof of important purchases. In the financial category, put bank statements, income statements, tax returns, and credit cards. Continue in this way with all of the categories. Next, get 8 folders or envelopes and label each one with the category name. Store all of the documents in each category in the corresponding folder. The direct benefit is that you will always know exactly where to look for any document. Plus, it will be much easier to keep your documents up to date because you know exactly where each type of document belongs. Tip 8. Use 8 containers to organize small objects. The 8th tip is about organizing all those small objects that are always lying around the house. Things like batteries, hair ties, paper clips, screws, buttons, medicines, headphones, chargers, and other small items. The rule is to use only 8 different containers to organize all these small objects in your house. These can be small boxes, glass jars, drawer organizers, or any type of container that you have available. The problem that this tip solves is the constant loss of small important objects. These items are useful when you need them, but because they are small, they end up getting lost in messy drawers, falling behind furniture, or mixed up with other things. To apply this rule, first gather all the small objects scattered around your house. You will be surprised at how many small things you have stored in different places. Then, separate these objects into 8 groups by function or frequency of use. For example, one container for office supplies like paper clips and staples, another for beauty supplies like rubber bands and hair ties, another for electronics like headphones and chargers, another for sewing supplies like buttons and thread, and so on. Label each container clearly and choose a fixed location for each. All containers should be located in easy-to-reach places, preferably in drawers or shelves at eye level. The direct benefit is that you'll never have to waste time searching for small items when you need them. Plus, these containers make it much easier to stay organized because each small item has a specific place to return to after use. Before I move on to the next tip, I want to tell you about something special I prepared for those who want to go beyond this video. It's a complete guide with organization secrets that completely transformed my home and can transform yours too. The link is in the pinned comment, and for a limited time, I'm offering a special discount for channel subscribers. Now, let's continue with the next tips, which are some of my favorites. Tip 9. Keep only 8 items on your desk. The 9th tip is about organizing your workspace. Whether it's at home or in the office, your desk should have no more than 8 visible items on its surface. This includes your computer, phone, and any other objects that you keep in plain sight. This rule is essential for staying focused and productive while working. The problem that this tip solves is the constant distraction caused by cluttered desks. When you have too many objects scattered around your desk, your mind is divided between multiple visual information at the same time. This decreases your ability to concentrate and makes you feel more mentally tired while working. To apply this rule, look at your desk right now and count how many objects are visible. If you have more than 8, you need to put some of them away in drawers or cabinets. The 8 items that are on your desk should only be those that you use daily. For example, you could keep your computer, your phone, a pen holder with only the pens you use, a notepad, a paper holder for urgent documents, a bottle of water, a small photo frame, and perhaps a small potted plant. Everything else should have a designated storage spot in nearby drawers or shelves. Make a habit of cleaning your desk completely at the end of each workday, leaving only the 8 essential items for the next day. The direct benefit is that you will be much more likely to focus on your tasks. Plus, you will feel more motivated to work because an organized environment gives you a sense of control and professionalism. Tip 10. Take 8 weeks to implement all changes. The 10th and final tip of the 8U-T-8 rule is about the time it takes to implement all of these changes in your life. Don't try to do everything at once, because that will only cause anxiety and make you give up. Instead, dedicate 8 weeks to gradually implementing all of the techniques you learned in this video, 1 tip per week, calmly and consistently. This approach solves the problem of overload that occurs when we try to change everything at once. Our brains need time to form new habits and adapt to new routines. When you try to implement too many changes at once, it becomes difficult to maintain consistency, and you end up giving up. To apply this strategy, make a calendar for the 8 weeks and write down which tip you will focus on each week. In the first week, focus only on dividing your day into 3 8-hour blocks. In the second week, start organizing your home into the 8 zones. In the third week, apply the 8 objects per surface rule. Continue in this way, 1 week for each tip, always maintaining the changes from the previous weeks. During each week, practice the new technique every day until it becomes automatic. If 1 week isn't enough time to fully master a tip, it's okay to extend it for a few more days before moving on to the next one. The important thing is not to skip steps or try to rush the process. The direct benefit of this approach is that the changes become permanent because you give your brain enough time to adapt. Plus, you'll feel steady progress without feeling overwhelmed, which keeps you motivated throughout the transformation process.